Something that really wasn't kind of brought to my attention until fairly late, so I'm doing it today instead of yesterday. Kate Mulgrew getting on her high horse like she likes to do and basically throwing the original series under the bus in the process. I mean, I would like to see the actual transcript of that interview, because on the one hand, she's kind of praising Roddenberry for putting this vision out there, but then in this next breath, trashing him as a misogynist, and the entire series, the original series, is misogynist. And it's like, okay, let's put everything into context, including Kate Mulgrew herself. She was 11 when the original series aired, okay? So, and probably not into, at the boys' show time. She wasn't not into that kind of thing, you know? And she was never a big fan. She was aware of the show. You could not be really growing up during that period and not be at least aware that there's a show called Star Trek out there, because there was some advertising, and the stuff was out there. But she was never a big fan. She had to kind of do a little catch up when she got the role of Janeway. But let's also look at what 1960s television was like at the time. I pulled the example of Leslie Parrish. We all know her as Lieutenant Palamas, who mourns for Adonis. Go through IMDb and see what else she was doing around that time. Doing other guest spots on shows. She was generally playing, girlfriends, wives, airheads mostly, because very very soft spoken, very high, soft spoken voice, and her big claim to fame at that point was like she played Daisy May in the Little Abner movie. What did she play on Star Trek? A scientist! I think you go through and that's probably the only character during that entire period, possibly, that's probably the high mark of her career, frankly. As far as, playing intelligent, fairly, self-sufficient women. And it's all over the place, and the same thing throughout the show. And let's play a little bit from Roddenberry here from that Inside Star Trek album, but where he stood for sexual equality on all fronts.
You cannot write in science fiction, you certainly cannot read it very much and deal in these terms across whole galaxies without realizing that sexual equality is as basic as any other kind of equality. This does not mean that in future pictures I will ever stop using women as sex objects, as I will not. But to be fair, we have always used and will be continuing to use males as sex objects too. As a matter of fact, when I was younger and much more agile, I've been used as a sex object myself. I think it's great fun. But we really believe that. We believed it even back in '63 when we were making the first pilot and laying out the Star Trek series idea. And in those days, we had the Enterprise 50% men, 50% women. Would you believe we received another one of those network visits? The fellow this time said, you can't do that. We said, why on earth not? These are exact quotes. He said, because don't you see it will make it look like there's a lot of fooling around going on up there. We had a huge argument. He went away, came back a week later and said, we've had a meeting on this whole subject, and if you want your series, we're going to make you a one-time offer. You can have 30% women. And I thought, well, hell, 30% healthy young women should be able to handle the ship, so I just let the thing go.
Okay, so, yeah, by the 1960s, in the 60s, he was a raging feminist, okay? Yeah, he liked to have some fun with them, with the women, but I think his stance is, just because, yes, it's best to have, a woman should be, strong and intelligent, but that doesn't mean she needs to throw away the sexuality, too. I mean, still have some fun. So, and Kate is falling into the same trap a lot of people do, judging past, events by modern standards, Nowadays, no, a lot of stuff wouldn't fly. But also consider that we wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for, really, Star Trek. It really broke a lot of ground. They had women on, when the women guest stars are on there, I don't think you'd be hard pressed to find any of them that would be there as like airheads, or window dressing. They're all fairly strong, intelligent, characters. Okay, a lot of scientists and everything. A lot of people, like Marianne Hill and Sherry Jackson was trying to prove herself because she'd been a child star on Danny Thomas. But really showcasing these actresses, showing that yes, they're still gorgeous women, but they can also play intelligent people, scientists, politicians. I mean, compare Ellen O'Donoghue, like when she was on Father Knows Best, to when she's in Metamorphosis. She's playing an ambassador, and a rather hard-bitten one too. I think really the closest you find to someone being cast in a role that traditionally they'd been playing elsewhere during that time was probably Jane Wyatt as Amanda. And even then, you'd never call her a shrinking violet, Father Knows Best, She's playing Margaret, got around the household, but she stood up to Sark a lot better than I think Margaret would stand up to Robert Young's character on Father Knows Best. So yeah, let's and I do share these things on Twitter and stuff. So Kate, take a step back, from the agenda a bit and look at what it was like at the time and how then progress is made in small steps here. That was one of those steps, okay? And yeah, Roddenberry was a lot of things, many of them not necessarily pleasant. And in this day, he would have been Me Too'd out the wazoo. Let's be honest here, okay? He was a brilliant producer. Bit of a visionary on certain things, but he also was a guy, okay? He was a guy of his period, and even then, a bit of a lech even by those standards too. But let's not throw the baby out with the bathwater here, okay? So, PayPal, Patreon down below, and we will continue the discussion on there. And also, again, I'm open up the mailbox to anybody who wants to send stuff. So, because like that seems to be a big thing now. They're all getting, doing the mailboxes. Hey, send me stuff. I'd never want to do that, but what the hell? Because we're gonna say one guy's been trying to send us a leather motorcycle vest, and it's like I've seen pictures of it. It looks nice, but it's like need an address to get to. So. Yeah, okay, so we just been at the Captain Robert April, 4046 North Goldenrod Road, number 115, Winter Park, Florida, 32792. Operators are standing by. Okay, and we'll talk at you later.